So companies are turning back to fossil fuels for reliable power as renewables can't meet AI constant energy needs. So the energy needs to scale around how AI needs to run. Huge electricity capacity is going to be needed to drive these things. And they realized early on that there's not enough renewables. The technology isn't baked enough where it's basically going to put enough energy on the grid that's really going to make a difference. And so people are talking about other directions. They're quietly, moving their power consumption over to coal and over to, other fossil fuel energy sources, and then putting things on the radar screen that may not have been on the radar screen 5 years ago, such as nuclear energy, and how that's supposed to basically provide us with enough energy and also a lower carbon footprint. And that's where we are right now. So regulatory and grid constraints are making it difficult for tech giants to source enough new renewable energy. And this is some of the complaints that they'll tell you in quiet. In other words, all in for the renewable stuff, but they can't get the permits to build the windmills, to build the solar plants. That's going to allow them to scale. And so many of the tech companies just kind of given up on it. So in many cases, I'm seeing renewables that are used as kind of a PR ploy. So in other words, you go to a data center and they have, solar panels on the roof, and they have, electric car chargers in the parking lot, and they may have a windmill, or they may be tied into a windmill, when very, very, very small amounts of energy are coming into the support of a data center from those kinds of resources. The reality is that renewables just can't generate enough to make a difference. Certainly, atomic energy can. That's why we're looking at that, but that's not as widely accepted as it was many years ago, certainly with the Chernobyl stuff and the perception that it's going to have a safety issue, and everybody's just burning coal. That's what's happening now, and they're quietly doing it, and that's the way they're going to grow their business. So many of these organizations that were all in on the renewables just a few years ago are quiet about it now because they understand that it's not going to put any kind of significant power onto their capacity needs.